Hello everybody and welcome to our LWJGL test video where we're going to test basically our render package. So we've created last time the loader, the model and the renderer. Quite a long video. Now we're going to actually test it. So we're going to go into our graphics display and where we start our loop, there we start our loop, and inside our loop we've got our counter. And then after our counter, just before we start the while loop, this is where we're going to start. This is after the thread. So basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to call the loader. And that is the new loader. And we are going to import that loader. It is import loader from renderer. That's what we need. And we are going to call the renderer. And we're just going to import that also from the renderer. Okay, so we have those to import it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a model, basically a quad. It's going to be a float for now. We'll work on importing models in a later video with a better loader. So we're going to just call it a quad. Okay, and now it's quite important that you get this more or less in. We just got to put semicolon after that so it stops complaining. We're going to say now we're going to create the left bottom triangle because we are rendering triangles in OpenGL. Okay, so the first position is minus 0.5 f because it is float, remember that, and 0.5 f and 0 f. Okay, then the next position is going to be minus 0.5 f and minus 0.5 f and 0 f. Then the next position is going to be 0.5 f minus 0.5 f and 0 f. Oops, there I've got the wrong comma. Change that to the right comma. That's the wrong comma. That's the right comma. Make sure we get that all right. Okay. So we just tab that in. Basically, I can actually just shift tab that out. Get the code all in the right place here. Actually, yeah. That's our quad. So tab once more. It's our quad. That's our quad, yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write top triangle. And it's just going to carry on with this float because we've got a comma there. And so this is 0.5 f and it's minus 0.5 f and it is 0 f. Then the next triangle coordination is going to be 0.5 f and it's going to be 0.5 f, 0.5 f, and it's going to be 0. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to keep it at 0 f. On my example there I've got 0.1 f. That's not quite correct. So put a comma after that, and then it is minus 0.5 f and 0.5 f and the last one is 0f, and there is no comma behind that because that is the last of the array. I'll double check that. Minus 050f minus 0 minus 05 and then 0f 05f minus 050, and then we've got 05 minus 050, and then we've got 05050, and then we've got 05f minus 05f, sorry, and then we've got 05 and then 0f. So that will then be our quad, which is going to be our object. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to render that now into our model. So model, that is our model we created, and we're going to say loader dot load to VAOs quad. Oh, if only all the other coding was that easy. We're going to import the loader from the renderer. Okay, so we've got that. And now we're going to go into our while loop, and there are a few things that we need to do, because if you remember that we actually now prepare our renderer, or we're going to prepare our renderer, which is basically these two lines of code which we've now put in somewhere else. So I'm just going to uncopy them, and we did have one color which I changed in the renderer. Okay, so I did change that color. If we just go into the, I think it's in the renderer, yes, here where we say prepare render, this is the GLTR clear color. Okay, so what we need to do, we're going to swap the buffers, and we're going to pull the events, and then what we're going to do after that is we're going to say render dot prepare. So it's basically going to call this code which we've got already prepared. And then here we're going to do the render bits, and so here we're going to do all our rendering. And what we want to do here is we want to say renderer dot render our model. So this model that we've created. So fingers crossed, that probably might work. But first of all, something that's really important. You remember that we created this in our loader class. Yeah, we created this cleanup method because, and that's what I was talking about when we were creating it. That, you know, if we call these models here, so if I call a really complex model into this, all that data will be created through the renderer here, and it's going to render that model, and that's going to be a lot of data. So when we close our program, we're going to go loader dot clean up, please, because that'll just clean up all those vertices arrays, vertex arrays objects, and the vertex buffer objects which we create in our model. So that's really important to know. So now for the final magic moment that we've all been waiting for, I am just going to run the application, run as Java application, and hopefully we'll just save that, and hopefully when we load our Java window we will have something like this. Oh, I'm very proud of that, because you can see the background color is no longer turquoise, it's the blue that we've made in the prepare method, and we've got a nice quad, a nice black quad there in the middle of our screen. So that's basically as far as I'm going to take this right now. I will do future videos of you know, making the models so that we can actually render the model, prepare them in a different thing, so we can sort of like start how do you say it, importing models into our screen, and then make 3D models, move them around and all that kind of stuff. So it gets a bit more interactive, and then we will start working on the Java FX so we can manipulate those models and maybe move them around using the Java FX window, or just you know, resizing or whatever. You know, we can look at that, how we're going to do that. But those are videos for the future. I'm really happy this worked. I hope it worked for you, and I wish you happy coding.